There's little question that quality is a value worth achieving, and that working toward quality is everyone's job. We've come a long way in the last couple of years here at American Express's Consumer Car Group, changing the way we look at quality and how to achieve it, and improving our products and service. But a lot of people don't realize that producing quality products and service doesn't necessarily mean the big re-engineering projects we all hear about. The ongoing goal of ultimate quality can be approached in small steps, too. Little, everyday improvements in the way we work, in the way we get things done. But taking the time and implementing the programs that quality requires costs money. It's a cost of doing business. And just like all of our other costs of doing business, the cost of quality has to be kept as low as possible. It's in this area that we're truly taking a leadership role, because we're one of the first companies to apply cost of quality strategies to a service industry. It's true. We have been changing the way we look at quality. Guided by our Blue Box values, re-engineering and process improvement teams have begun redesigning just about every task we perform. Teams are taking responsibility for the work they do and how they do it. It's a matter of continuous improvement, of constantly figuring out how our jobs can be accomplished better and more efficiently. And now, we're beginning to look at the costs associated with producing quality products and service, and how these costs can be kept as low as possible. You see, everything each one of us does to provide quality products and service costs money. It's a cost that can be measured and quantified, just like the cost of paper clips or a long-distance phone call. Taken together, the expense we go to provide our customers with quality service and products is called the cost of quality. These costs fall into four main categories: prevention, appraisal, internal failures, and external failures. Now, it's important to understand that the proportions we've shown here don't represent any particular function's actual cost of quality, but costs do fall into these four categories. Prevention includes all the things we do to prevent mistakes from being made. Things like training and automation. Appraisal costs include our quality control procedures and the expense of the customer satisfaction surveys and other steps we take to measure how well we're meeting our customers' expectations. The cost of fixing a mistake is an internal failure expense. And in measuring this cost, we have to take into account not just the costs associated with interacting directly with the card member, but also the cost of actually making the correction, say adjusting the card member's account, and the cost of any required follow-up action, such as mailing printed correspondence to the customer. Everything related to correcting the mistake and how much it costs must be included. External failure costs are simply put lost revenues. For example, the revenue that's lost when a card member cancels or reduces his or her use of the American Express card, or when a service establishment prefers to accept a competitor's product or flat out refuses to accept our cards. As we continue to invest in prevention and appraisal as part of our pursuit of quality, we'll see the costs attributable to internal and external failures shrink. But even so, the costs that we as employees of American Express can probably most affect in our day-to-day work is internal failures. Now that means more than fixing mistakes. It means figuring out ways to reduce how often errors occur and ways to reduce how much they cost when they do occur. These kinds of improvements often represent our best opportunities to reduce the cost of quality. And reducing our internal failures has a carryover effect too, because accurately handling a customer's inquiry can improve that customer's satisfaction and help ensure he or she continues using the American Express card. And that, of course, translates into reduced external costs. Tracking how much we spend on the cost of quality and where that money is going is what the Cost of Quality Report is for. It's one of our most important tools in reducing the cost of quality. The Cost of Quality Report begins with the gathering of quality control information. This quality control information is combined with operations reports, health of the franchise data, and information from support operations such as training and performance engineering, and incorporated into the Cost of Quality Report. Strictly speaking, what the Cost of Quality Report does is quantify the expense of preventing, appraising, and correcting service failures. In doing so, it points to possible trouble spots where we might be able to make overall improvements. The report provides detailed information on how much of each department's cost of quality goes toward prevention, appraisal, and internal failures. And perhaps more importantly, it provides extensive details on where the costs resulting from internal failures are incurred. Information such as the total number of errors and the costs associated with correcting them. The report is used by TRS re-engineering teams as they work to improve key customer processes. But it can also be used by teams of operations employees to help identify where improvements can be made in the day-to-day workings of their departments. Teams try to determine if quality reviews are being made at the right points in the process, and whether the information generated by quality control is being used effectively. They also look at how much each specific task in the overall process costs, and how that cost might be reduced. For example, if a task is manually intensive, the team might look at ways it can be automated, not just to reduce labor costs, but also to help prevent errors. Improving a process begins with learning as much as possible about that process as it currently exists. That often means using a process map that details the flow of a particular course of action, showing every step of the process. Teams look for duplication of effort, bottlenecks in the process, or points at which one department might be unintentionally causing problems for another, whether or not a particular task in the process is necessary, and if the process can be re-engineered to make it more efficient or improve its quality. With the help of the Cost of Quality Report, teams like this can discover and help implement the small incremental improvements that are so important to providing quality service and products to our customers. The kind of quality American Express card members have come to expect. The kind of quality that's only possible through the efforts of every employee, every day.